It's a new month, which means it's time for a sports card business update. In case you guys are new here, every single month I give you a full look at the previous month of my sports card business. Show you guys all the money that I brought in terms of sales, in terms of partnerships, revenue, etc., as well as I show you all the money that I spent. I think that one of the things I talk about is the importance of transparency in the hobby. And if you're going to talk the talk, you should walk the walk. So I want to lead by example here by showing you guys how the sausage is made, basically. I know that a lot of you guys love the educational content and love the how-to videos, how to grow a card business, etc. And it's something that I have done. And I think that if I'm going to be educating and showing, other people how to do that, I need to be able to show them my process and what it looks like for me in a real world situation. So I have an Excel sheet that I track my card business in. If you are interested in that sheet, I've been getting some DMs from the New Collector Challenge, and I have that sheet available in two different ways. The first is if you join the membership page here on YouTube, you are able to get a copy of that Excel sheet. You can download that, and then it's a basically 1 month charge. You can cancel it right after that if you want. Obviously, would appreciate if you stayed around as a member, but there's some other perks that make it more worth it, hopefully. But that's one way to grab it. The other way to grab it is by going on over to my website, clevercubancards.com, and I have that available for purchase if you're looking for a way to track you in your card business. I think that it's really, really important to track your finances ins and outs. It makes tax season way easier because you see all the categories, all the things. I'm going to walk you guys through the spreadsheet, given that I haven't done a full walkthrough here on YouTube, to show you how I use this to better track my card business. But let's get to it, hop on over to Excel and show you all the ins and outs of the sheet and how the month of January went for us. So when you open up the Excel sheet, you are going to see the Start Here tab down at the bottom. And that basically is, this page gives you all the information that you need to basically use this sheet effectively. I'm not going to walk through all the instructions. I have faith that you guys can read this if you decide to purchase this sheet. But the big page is your summary page. Now you can see this is our month of January. So we spent $21,611.10 and we brought in $29,944.85, meaning that we profited $8,333.75 on the month. Now, really good month. No question about it. That's actually the best month that our card business has had to date. So very, very proud of that. Love that that's how we're starting off the year. Got to talk about a little bit the ups and downs of business at the end of the video today, but love starting off strong. Where were our expenses? So spent some money on supplies. $900 of this $1,300 though was me buying boxes for our mystery boxes that we're going to be doing for opening day. I just bought them in bulk. I'm only going to do 300-ish, I think is my plan for the print run, but I bought 1,000 boxes, so it ended up being really expensive. That will pay itself off later, basically, by being able to sell those boxes in March, as well as future times when we may or may not do mystery boxes again. It's not something that I do frequently, but it's a fun, every once in a while thing to give people just something different. So, general business, this is just, it's a catch-all, basically. So this is all the things like my memberships, the costs of running the business that may not necessarily fit clearly into one of these other categories. Grading, spend a lot of money on grading. This is actually a fairly light month for us, if I'm going to be honest. I think we sent a lot off to get graded in December, so it was a little lighter. Took some time for more cards to come in. Shipping, that's pretty low, but that's because most of my orders are done through marketplaces where the shipping is a part of the order, both eBay as well as whatnot. When I sell a card on Discord or off of eBay or something like that, then you are having to pay for shipping, but most of the shipping charge is actually just for the sending cards off to get graded. In terms of content, this is boxes to open for content. This is investments in new equipment like the microphone. I'm hopeful that you guys have noticed the increase in sound quality that you may or may not have noticed. Whatnot inventory is always our biggest expense. Last month, it was actually, I think, a little light, if I'm being honest, but we're going to have a big month of February. Again, we'll talk about that at the end of the video. Payroll. Now, you can see three things here for payroll. You see payroll, payroll taxes, and distribution taxes. Now, I am set up as an S-Corp, which means that I, Alex, am paid as a W-2 employee. So when I get paid, the payroll number here is what I am taking home. That's the money that I'm paying and that I'm actually seeing myself. Payroll taxes, that is the taxes that are taken out of my paycheck. So that is both the federal income taxes that I am paying as an individual, as well as the taxes that Clever Cuban Cards LLC is paying as a company for having employees on the payroll. There are extra fees for this, but generally it works out in the long run that it is a slightly better tax situation for you because you get to do these things called distributions. And this is basically where you are able to pull profits out of the business outside of your payroll, your W-2. So I have part of my monthly payroll that I pull money out as distributions, assuming that we are continuing to do well. I am over cautious. In terms of what I'm setting aside for taxes, I would rather be really conservative with that and have extra money at the end of the year versus realize that I owe more money than I thought I did. So I set aside 35%, which comes up to $840. So those are all my expenses. In terms of revenue, let's break it down. We've got TikTok. This is actually not me selling cards on TikTok. This is just purely ad revenue, TikTok shop stuff, etc. We had a really big month in December because we had a video go viral, a skibidi toilet video. I don't know why it did, but hey, I honestly almost didn't even make it, but it got like 1.3 million views. So we made like $1,000 alone off that video. So normal month for us is in the $400 range for TikTok, but good month in January. We'll take it. eBay, I sold one card. That was really it. Discord, I sold a couple of big lots as well as some really expensive cards on Discord. Affiliate links, that's when you guys use my link to join a paid Discord group. When you buy something off of Amazon that you use that, affiliate link, I get 10 cents here, $1 there, whatever. And then of course, as always, our biggest revenue source is Whatnot. Now, let's walk you through this sheet holistically to show you how you can use it. So in the expenses category here, you can see all of our expenses for the month. And what I do when I run my business is I come in and I say, okay, what was this? So I know exactly what it was. This is the name of somebody on Discord that I bought this lot from. Location obtained was on Discord. It's Whatnot inventory. This is a drop down, which I'll show you guys how to change in a second here. The date, as well as the amount of money that I spent. These drop downs allow you to just kind of categorize it, and then those automatically fill in your expense breakdown, which gives you just your big picture of where you're spending money, so you have a sense there. Other thing that you're obviously doing is your revenue. So same idea, name. So what was this? What date did you get it on? How much was it for? This is also a drop down. However, on these drop downs, it allows you to also autofill some of these selling expenses that may or may not be associated with you. So coming down to a new one here, if I'm, say, selling on Whatnot, I don't have anything that comes up here because I just track how much I actually get. But if I sell on eBay, it automatically says, okay, how much did you get charged for shipping and how much did you have to pay in fees? So you just type in that there and it will then give you your total that you netted from that sale. To change these, you need to come over into your backend inputs and you can change your selling locations as well as your expense types. Basically, selling locations is your revenue, expense type is your expenses. And when you change this, so card shop here, if we type in credit card fees, for example, now if we were to come back to our expenses, our revenue, excuse me, because we sold stuff at our card shop, it's going to automatically fill in credit card fees, and then you can type that in. So you can change your backend inputs here on this tab. You can fill in what your selling expenses are here in 1A, your selling locations, as well as your expense type. Also, your drop down for grading companies, that is for the high value singles tracking. Now, I track my inventory a little bit differently right now just because I am playing the game differently in that I do so much low-end cards. It's really impossible to track the individual value of these low-end cards. So many cards are coming in, so many cards are going out. I mean, I'm probably buying 2,000 to 3,000 cards a month and I'm selling 2,000 to 3,000 cards a month. So we see a lot of inventory turnover, so it's nearly impossible to track the individual values of my cards. I just try and average it all out. But for you, unless you are playing a big volume game, you're probably going to want to track your individual cards. So you type in your card, your initial purchase price, and then your estimated value for what the card is worth today, and that will automatically total up your inventory value so that you know how much your inventory roughly is worth at this moment. Graded cards you can also track. Same thing, card, initial purchase price. You can type in your grade, which is really, really nice, which that, to track, okay, this is a PSA 10. You type in your grading company and it gives you an autofill here as well. So that's just a really easy way to track your value, which is important. You want to know how you're growing as a business, which, speaking of, the final thing to walk you through here is the growth calculator. So how you start this is you say however much money you started off with at the beginning of the year or on the first of that month. So let's say that we had $10,000 in cash and then we had another $10,000 in inventory. That means that we had $20,000 in total value. Then let's say that on February 1st, we did well. We increased our cash position by $12,000 and by $2,000 and our inventory by $2,000 as well. You see there, we grew by 20%. But then let's say that we, have a down month in the month of February. So we're back down to $10,000 cash, or we're back down to $10,000 inventory. You can see that, therefore, we have no growth on the year. So it allows you to track month over month how your business is doing. To do this basically at the specific date. So on the first of the year or the first of each month, I type in how much cash I have on hand, as well as how much inventory I have, and that allows me to track how the business is growing over the course of the year. For me, that growth calculator is really, really helpful to push me to see it's a nice positive feedback when you are doing well as it's a nice little reminder if you are not doing well, like, hey, wait a minute, we've had a couple of down months in a row. We need to switch something up. So overall, really, really pleased with the month of January. You can't complain with over $8,000 in profit post payroll. Definitely really, really good. But that's going to definitely be reinvested into the business in the month of February, which let's talk about that. So while the month of January was fantastic, as I said, February is going to be a little different. And there's a couple of reasons for that. The first is obviously we will have a shorter month. February has less days in it. There's not as many days. January has 31 days and February has 28. Less days to therefore do streams, to bring in revenue. Additionally, we've got a very big card show in the month of February. The National Card Show is here next weekend, February 7th through February 9th. I'm going to spend a lot of money. There's no other way to put it. That's what you got to spend money to make money. I know that that's part of running the business. I'm ready for it. That's why we are happy to have such a profitable month this month, so that then I can go reinvest that money back into the business to continue growing. I know that February is going to be very expensive. My goal is to profit a little bit, maybe break even. But if we have a down month in terms of overall numbers, I'm okay with that because I know that we are making a big investment in the future. As I said, we have those mystery packs that we'll be doing for opening day. That's going to be obviously at the end of March. I believe it's March 27th or 28th, if I'm remembering correctly. But we'll do those. If we do 300 mystery packs, that alone right there is $9,000 in revenue pre-fees. But mystery packs, boom, that's a big cash influx. But you got to have 300 cards that are your chase cards for all of those. You got to have your big cards. You got to have your floor cards. But I want my floor cards to still be a cool chase card. It might not be worth the $30 that the box is, but it's still a cool card. So building up enough inventory to really do these and do them right is something that's really important. But the only way to do that is to go spend that money. So my hope is that February is a average month, and then we see a big bump up in March as a result of that. But that's how the business goes. There's the ups and the downs, and that's why I track it over the course of the year versus just worrying about what's happening in the here and now, because there are the ups and downs of the business. There's the ups and downs of the seasons, the markets, etc. I want to make sure that we're doing well over the course of that longer period. So very happy with how January and the 2025 year is starting out. If you guys want to see future business updates, all of this, as I said, we do this every single month, all about that transparency. Want to show you guys how it's done. So I'm going to have that March 1st. There'll be another update or around there. Might be a day or two late depending on how the calendar falls and all this and that. But we will have a business update for sure for you guys then and every month after that. So if you guys want to see that, make sure to subscribe, follow along. As always, I appreciate you guys checking out the videos. And if you want to grab that Excel sheet, you know where to find it, as I said, either here on YouTube or on my website, clevercubancards.com. Might be worth a shot. I've had a lot of positive feedback from it. A lot of people have said that it's made a big difference in their business. I know it definitely made a big difference in mine. So if you want to grab that, it's a great way to support the page. But as always, I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Catch you in the next one.